Hello there. It's been a little bit. It is Saturday, April 16th at 6:06 p.m. This is Unmasked. I'm your host, Jason Fortune. If you saw any of the social media, you know what this show is about and what's coming up, and it's an add-on to what we did a couple weeks ago. And it's going no contact and why we don't speak. I know these conversations make people uncomfortable, and that's exactly why I'm here doing it, because somebody has to talk about this stuff and somebody has to put it out there, put language to it, and leave it out there for other people to find that need to hear this. Not just the abusers and not just the middle, the conformers, the deniers, and the blockers, but the abused. The abused need to hear this and understand what's happening to them, what's going on, and what they can do. So, no contact. Going no contact, this new little buzzword that's been around for a while but is picking up steam. People hear that and they think, man, that person's a cold bastard. He's real selfish. She's real selfish. This isn't how you treat family. This is just broken relationships. And what people fail to see before that, before the no contact starts being bannered around and before somebody in the family says, oh, they went no contact, they don't see the years of trying and the years of not being heard and the years of learning that telling the truth wasn't safe. That whenever they tried to share what had happened to them, what was going on around them, it wasn't answered with, let's talk about this. We know what it was answered with, what the family dynamic is. So tonight, we are not talking about cutting people off. We're talking about why people have to cut people off. Their families, their friends. So like always, before we get into this, what is something we always do? What do we do in any groves? What do we do here on Unmasked? Before we ever sit down in a space, we always breathe together. So let's take a second and check in with yourself. Where are you sitting right now? Feel whatever you're sitting on holding you. Feel gravity pushing you down into what's holding you. Look around the room. Find something to anchor yourself on. Look outside if you have a window. Is it cold in your house? Is it warm? Is there a fan blowing? Anchor yourself into this reality, and let's start. Take a long, deep breath in through your nose, filling them up from the bottom to the top. And at the top, pause for just a little bit in that gap, and now start releasing through your through your mouth, like you're blowing out a straw. At the bottom, a smaller little gap to sit in and just take a moment, and then start the big breath in through your nose again. Go ahead and hold. And now start releasing through the mouth. Now let's pause on the breathing and let's do a somatic shakeout. Let's take all the stress of the week, everything that happened this week, everything that went right, everything that went wrong, pull it all up to your ears, pull your shoulders up to your ears, and now drop them and shake your hands out. One big motion and drop down. Pick them back up again and shake them back out. Shake it out with your arms and shake out that stress. Now let's continue with 2 more breaths. Go ahead and come in through the nose. And now release through the mouth all the way down. all the way down to the bottom, and I want you to hold here for a second. Just hold here and sit in this gap. Feel your body not needing anything. Now inhale through the nose, all the way up to the top again. And relax. Release into this room. Release into here with me. And let's talk about going no contact. It's not always easy. We always need music too, don't we? Oops. Gonna start up here. That's live. We make mistakes, and they're awesome. Anyway. I want you to all be settled here with me and just listen. Listen for a moment. I want you to open as much as you can. And I want you to try to take in what I'm saying tonight. And when your system starts to say, man, he's full of shit. He's going to some crazy places. That's resistance. And that resistance is what keeps this abuse cycle going and everything that I've been talking about now. And I'm not saying I'm right. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm just saying drop the resistance for a little while and just listen to me. Sit back. Spend these next 40 minutes with me, whether you're live with me right now on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch, or if you're in a replay somewhere else in the universe watching this. Maybe you're in the Sage Collective Discord server watching this later on. But stay open, okay? We didn't sign it with ink. We signed it with glances, with tightening jaws, with the way the room went cold when truth walked in. We learned early. Truth is expensive. It costs belonging. It costs dinner tables. It costs Christmas. So we traded it. We traded it for smiles, for silence, for survival. And somewhere along the way, we forgot. We forgot we were allowed to speak. So, I've gone no contact with everyone in my family. I can't believe it either. Everyone. It didn't all happen at once, but it just started happening. And it was my mom, my dad, aunts and uncles, cousins, you know, and even my son at times. And that hurts. And it is not something that people understand easily at all. I've been called many things for going no contact. Because from the outside, it looks like abandonment. It looks like I abandoned my family. It looks like I abandoned my son. It looks like I abandoned my brother and sisters. It looks like I abandoned my parents. But from the inside, and those of you that understand what I'm talking about, it's protection. Protection. And why? Let me flip this up again. Got the abuser, and the abuser did what the abuser did, whatever that is. Then you got the people in the middle, the big bell curve, the people who say, man, come on, did that really happen? Other people that say, he's not like that, there's no way that happened, this person is a full of shit, drug addict, alcoholic. Other people just block for him. Man, no, it's your fault, not theirs. So you're not left with much. You're not left with many choices and many alternatives. And what I've come to understand and what we talked about in our last session of Unmasked when we were talking about the abuse dynamic and the abuse cycle is that this isn't random. This is a pattern. And the pattern that I've always go back to calling it is intergenerational family trauma. We all are wrapped up in this abuse cycle. And to use myself as the guinea pig like I always do, you can go back to the earlier days when I first started up Unmasked around day 9, 10, and 11. Around there, I started telling my family's story. And you can go back to that to hear it if you want to dig deep on this. But the cycle didn't start with us. It started way before me. It started out on the borderlands in Colorado and Kansas. It started in the Catholic clergy. And so abuse happens to the abuser. The abused, they start coping and showing signs of that, whatever type of signs those are. It could be over shopping and charging a credit card, 5 credit cards to the max. I'm saying it can be anything. It can be excessive yoga. So the intergenerational trauma moves through us until certain parts of the abused section can't handle it anymore and they start dropping away. And in the old days, they didn't call that no contact. There was no words for it. That person just kind of wasn't there anymore, wouldn't answer the phone, wouldn't talk. And at some point, either these people like me, you either keep going and dealing with this or you step out. And that's what I had to do. As I tried to tell my family there were problems with me, and no, it wasn't impulse controls from treatment. It was actual, I didn't feel right. I know I've been abused. They denied it. They blocked it. They conformed. And it just kept leaving me no choices but to step out. Whenever I would tell my story and when somebody wouldn't hear me and see me, it left me no choice but to step out to protect myself. And for any of you out there that have had somebody go no contact with you, these are the reasons why. You're not listening. You're not giving them space. You're denying. And if you don't believe me, show this episode to the person I'm talking about, or send it to the person that asked about the no contact and ask them if I'm right. This is what I'm talking about when I'm saying lower your resistance. And for those of you that are out there that are like me and know what I'm talking about, and you're cheering and I'm speaking to the choir, I'm doing my best to educate and to give us the abused language and the abusers and the middle bell curve section of the people that are really keeping this denial going, the conformers and the deniers and the blockers. I'm trying to give them a language so they can start understanding too. So here is the core of what I'm trying to say. And let me say this extremely clear. We do not go silent because we can't come back. I know we don't go silent because we're unable to speak. We go silent because we need to survive. We have to survive, and that's why we go silent. We have to operate. We have to have some modicum of not feeling what we feel when we're around the abusers, when we hear that what we're saying doesn't matter and our stories aren't true, it causes no contact. My mom and my dad don't believe there's been any abuse. They don't. They think this is just living. They think I was a problem child. I did drugs and got drunk and was crazy and didn't listen and all that stuff, but the problem was all on me. No contact. My sister and brother don't want to admit that they were abused by my stepmom and their biological mother. It's fine to pile it all up on my biological father, and he can take everything and piss off 5,000 miles away and drink himself to death, but not the mom. They're blocking, they're conforming, and they're denying. No contact. I've tried to explain this too. It's not like I pull out the no contact real quick, like, oh, no contact. No, I spend years upon years explaining, writing, talking. And this is why no contact happens. Silence is not always absence. Sometimes it's the only boundary we have left. Silence is a boundary to help define ourselves away from what happened. So why did the people that go no contact, why do we not speak? Why are we going no contact? Because families don't just run on love. As we all like to think, in the great American myth-making of Hollywood and the happily ever after, that all of us strive so hard to fit in and conform into that box. Families don't run on love, they run on unspoken agreements. And sure, maybe love is one of the unspoken agreements. That would be real nice if it was. More of the unspoken agreements are like, don't challenge, don't expose, and definitely don't disrupt. Shrink yourself and shut the hell up. And when people like me that are not falling to the side of being oppressed by the abuser, well, we were, and I was, but then you start speaking up and speaking out. This threatens the structure. And the structure pushes back. And we know this. We've talked about this. I've talked about this in the many ways, and I've described it. The consequences are very real when this starts happening, and we know what it is. We get shoved into treatments, we get labeled, we get ostracized by the family, by our coworkers. There's rejection, there's blame, there's being labeled the problem when you start speaking out, when you're trying to tell people something happened, man. Something wasn't right, some shit happened to me, and I'm telling you, you need to listen to me. And the person that we're saying that to goes, they wouldn't do that. That's not them. And I need to be honest, and I need to now hold myself a little bit accountable for something. When I first found out that my dad was an abuser, I really couldn't fathom it in the beginning because I couldn't remember anything. So when my sister came to me and told me he is an abuser and he's been doing all this to us, and it started breaking loose, I denied it. I did. And I'm sorry that I did that. At the time, I was part of the problem. At the time, I'm in the middle. I'm a conformer, I'm a denier, and I'm a blocker. I don't even want to admit my own abuse. I don't even necessarily know that I've been abused. It's strange, and if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. So, I mean, I guess what I'm saying there is the bell curve's fluid too. The abuser can move into the middle and be the abused, and you can move back and forth through it if you're not careful in this pattern of intergenerational family trauma. Lower your resistance and hear me. All of you listening to me. I am definitely not speaking to the abused right now because the abused knows. We know. Look how small that little pattern over there on the abused is. Look how small the abuser's side is, and look in the middle. I am speaking to you in the middle. And the abuser, of course, but mostly you in the middle. So in all of this, when we try to tell people what's going on and people are rejecting us and denying it, our nervous system learns. We cannot help but be taught and learn in protection of ourselves. Stay quiet. Stay safe. Shrink yourself into a tiny little mold and say nothing no more. Imagine how this feels, man. Imagine how this feels. So, intergenerational abuse cycles in this part of it, in this braid of this tornado, this twisted, chaotic braid of a tornado that I've been talking about since Unmasked launched in December. Here's the piece that most people miss in the intergenerational abuse. The abuser didn't start it. My dad didn't start it. He was abused by a priest. Who taught the priest? The silence didn't start with my dad. It started with the priest before him and the priest before him and kids before him and all the way that works. And it started out on that farm in Kansas and Colorado on the borderlands and all the silence out there. And all of this system was already in motion and rolling and flowing. But it continues through participation. And the only time it breaks is through awareness. This is the weird conundrum. Do you get it? Like, all this stuff is happening. I'm talking about the abuse, and the abuse is factor X in the way of there's many ways to abuse, whether that's verbally, physically, financially, toxic personality. I mean, you have the abuse happening, and it's continuing through all the participation. Let's hit it again. All the continuation is happening from the middle. Let's not forget this. I want this burned in your skull. The only way that this system breaks is through talking about it. And when we talk about it, what happens? We get pushed back. When we get pushed back, what happens? We grow silent and we go no contact to save ourselves. What just happened in that? The abuser escaped. The pattern's going to go on. They're going to abuse more people. So, you see this? It's not circular. It's like circular, twisted, in and out, flipping in and out on itself. It's very complicated. I love my brother and sister. I want to talk to them real bad. I can't because they're protecting an abuser. And they don't want to come up off that she's an abuser. They are denying that she's an abuse. She's part of the abuse too, Jason. You don't understand. You weren't there. Bullshit. I absolutely was there. My son, I love my son. He's caught in this borderland, this nether regions of not wanting to really believe what I'm saying. He kind of believes it, but it's so far-fetched and so sensational, he almost doesn't. And in this, when he blocks like that or denies, or he becomes part of the problem, I become aggressive because he's denying what I'm saying in his way. I start attacking. I start turning into the old abuser I used to be, the abuser that I was raised to be. And it hurts. It hurts so bad that I quit talking, and it turns into no contact. Silence is survival. Do you hear me? And let me say this again. Silence is survival. At first, it's protection. It's protection. We're doing it to protect ourselves, and then a crappy thing happens. The silence becomes an identity. It becomes something we wear, just like our clothes. We become so used to it. Our central nervous system becomes so used to it. It just becomes part of our personality. We become alone, and we live with being alone because we're damn sure not going to try to convince people that are unconvincible or enter back into what we worked so hard to get out of. So silence, isolation, they're my friends. Isolation is my friend. I am not isolated in like the lonely sense. I have people I talk to and I communicate. But I don't go to family meals anymore, family dinners, big. There is nothing. There's no keeping up with the cousins. I don't know anything that's going on. I don't know if my mom or dad are alive right now at this moment. Becomes part of the identity. And you realize that one day, it just kind of hits you and you're like, I don't even know what I would say to this person anymore. And we all, on my side of the table, know what that feels like exactly. I don't even know what I would say to this person anymore. And it's sad. The reason this is fucking sad is there is a breakdown in humanity going on of not listening to what people are saying. And people might say stuff like in the middle, we got to tread carefully. We need to move real slow. You just can't accuse people of stuff like this. Bullshit, man. Are you not paying attention to the newspapers and stuff? Abuse is rampant. It's always been rampant. It's always perpetrated by people of power. People that are smart, people that look good looking, people that have lots of money. It's not the little alley creeper, all right? That person's easy to spot. That person's already on the sexual offenders list or sexual predator list. It's somebody in your family that you have no idea what they're doing to their family at all, and you think they're completely awesome. And probably their kids or wife has tried to say something and you just can't fucking believe it. This is why the no contact happens all the way to the point of just break. And that person leaves the family. They're no longer part of the family. I'm not part of my families. I have 2 giant families and I'm not part of either one. Let's change this up a little bit. There is a graveyard in my throat. Filled with words I buried myself. Each one a version of me that tried to live and was told, not here, not now, not safe. So I learned to swallow until silence felt like home. Let me ask you something. What are you not speaking about right now? What have you shoved down? What truth have you been holding because you knew what it might cost you, your family? Who in your life made it unsafe to tell the truth? And then let's flip this. Who are you not listening to? Who are you denying? Who are you not being safe for that needs you? And who is going to benefit from all of this silence? Who's going to benefit? Do I need to put it up again? Who's going to benefit? Who's going to get smashed? Who's going to have to go silent and grow isolated and be by themselves? Because no one will listen. Shame derives its power from being unspeakable. Brené Brown. Not everything that is faced can be changed, but nothing can be changed until it is faced. James Baldwin. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and call it fate. Carl Jung. So, I talked a little bit about that growing silence that happens when we go no contact and what's happening to us, the abused person, as we learn to deal with the isolation and the silence. There's times where we want to speak and we want to actually say something, and because of what we went through, we can't do it anymore. No contact is as brutal on us as it is on the people that we've gone no contact with. Do you think I don't want to talk to my parents and explain what happened, tell them what the deal is, and have them understand and look back on their own previous abuse and be able to see what happened to them, what they did to me, and that there becomes continuity in my life and not just isolation and sitting on top of a mountain? But there's not, because they can't accept. So that since they won't accept, since they're going to try to make excuses and make denials about everything that happened, no contact. And we kind of grow into just a freeze pattern. We grow into a freeze pattern that even if the phone rings and it's that person, we're scared to pick up the phone. And what a shame. What a sad, sad shame. When we are alone and isolated and disconnected, it is crushing, and it's unhealthy. It's mentally unhealthy to be disconnected from everything, because you feel like anywhere you turn to, you are going to not be heard, or you're not going to be listened to. And this is exactly why I'm building Sage Collective with my wife, Carol Ann. And And we have some good partners now, all starting to fall in. Karma Lindsay, Anissa Matthews, Gwydion Alder, another guy named Tyrus. We have people starting to sign up now to lead our groups. And this is exactly why Sage exists, everything I've been talking about. Most of us didn't grow up in environments where truth was safe. Most of us were told to shut up. Most of us were told to get in your room, go to your room. So when people say to us, just speak up, they don't understand exactly what that takes when they're trying to get us to start talking again or get us to talk to people we don't feel comfortable talking to. Why can't you just come to family dinner? It's okay that your uncle will be there. Just don't say anything to him. They don't understand what it takes. At Sage Collective, we are not about fixing you. We're about giving you a space where you can start telling your truth without being punished for it. Imagine that. Imagine being able to sit down with a group of people that actually understand you. A group of people that when you start telling them that happened, heads start nodding. Heads start nodding, and somebody says something that you feel like should have came out of your mouth. That is the groves in Sage Collective that we're cultivating right now. As we grow these groves, and right now we're still in testing mode, but we are weekly having groups. We have a small test group we're going through. I'm working out all the tech that needs to go on because this is an healing ecosphere that's ran by technology, so all of us can stay connected, so we can find the groves we need, find these sessions, whether it's PTSD, men's group, women's group, LGBTQ+, neurodivergent. There is so many, and as new facilitators show up, they bring ideas, they bring new segments. We're working on something right now, and this is crazy, not crazy at all, it's innovative as hell, that we're working on something for people that want to play video games and are isolated and feel comfortable sitting and playing a video game, that they can come in to our ecosphere, play video games with a group of people that all get it, and sit there and talk about life and what's bothering them. But playing video games makes everyone comfortable, and that's how they connect. That's what we're trying to do in Sage, is reach out to people where they're at, in their pocket, here on their computer. They don't have to go anywhere. You guys can plug in, buy your token, come into the ecosphere, hang out, come to open mic nights, come to game nights, hang out with people you know that aren't toxic, that listen to you, that know you, that care about you after a while as you learn to meet people in there and become part of the family. So you come to these small facilitator-led circles, about 8 people, that's our top. And you have a facilitator there that absolutely knows what they're doing and why they're there and what the topic they're talking about in. They are very gifted and educated and can guide very well. And these are safe groups where you can come in and sit down and say, this shit happened to me. I don't talk to my family anymore. No one gets me. They deny that it happened. And all of a sudden, 6 people in that group say, me too. Me too. After the group's over, you might see that person again in a chat room in our ecosphere, in our Discord server, and it's safe. You guys both know you're not going to talk about anything that hurts anybody, but you're able to say, hey, everything okay with you, man? They're like, yeah, everything's great with me. How are you doing? And there's more connection than just that. You know it's deeper than that. You're able to talk. If you guys want to have a private chat, you can again. If you want to talk about it, imagine a place that isn't toxic, that isn't full of shitty memes, that's full of safe people that you trust, that also have facilitators around and sessions going on. Whew. This is happening. If you want to know more about it, it's sagecollective.care. That's your way in. That's how you start learning what all I'm talking about here in the way of becoming part of Sage Collective. Sage Collective sponsors Unmasked. That's why on YouTube and when you look around, it's Sage Collective where I'm doing this work for Unmasked. And Unmasked is here to get the word out so more people can learn about Sage Collective and not be alone. And I don't care what side you come in when it comes to this. If you're in the middle in the bell curve and you don't understand it, there's room for you in Sage Collective to come in and start learning. If you're part of the abused, there is definitely room for you to come in there and start learning. And man, if you're an abuser and you want to do the right thing, Sage Collective isn't here for this. We're not here for that. We don't know how to do this, but I pray and I want you to get help. Abusers need to get help. It's okay to step into the light, say that you are an abuser, and get help. And watch this. Hi, I'm Jason. I grew up in a very abusive family, and it taught me that abuse was okay. I became an abuser myself. And then one day I stopped abusing. And it wasn't easy because it was in me. It was trained into me and it was taught in me. But I stopped. I learned how to stop. And I did the work that it takes to step away from being an abuser. I was able to talk about my own abuse, and here we are. Here we are. Stepped into the light. Stepped into the light. Admitting that I'm an abuser. Won't do it anymore. Will do everything I can to help everybody learn. Anything I can do. So if you're tired of holding it alone, if you're tired of sitting out there like I am and being isolated and not have anybody to talk to, Sage Collective, we are here. Not very much longer. It's going to be absolutely open to the public. And I won't be saying it this way anymore. I'll start saying, hey, I look forward to seeing you in the groves, because you will see me in there. We are very close to that. The first word is the hardest, not because you don't know it, but because you do. And you know what it might break. But listen, what if the thing breaks? What if the thing it breaks, is the cage? What if you start talking and the thing it breaks is the cage? It's good to start talking. That doesn't mean you have to run right back into your house of abuse. Start talking there. It means to start talking somewhere. That's the end of this session. If someone's out there and they're trying to talk, listen to them. It doesn't matter if your brain is telling you they're full of shit. Keep your mouth shut, drop your resistance, and listen. Whew. Let's all take a breath together. Just right here on the screen with me. Just a big deep breath through the nose. And a big, big, slow release through the mouth. Whew. This stuff isn't easy. I am committed. I am committed to the hard stuff. So, you don't have to say everything, but maybe just tonight, maybe you just say one true thing, even if it's to yourself. This is Unmasked. This is a circle. This is a session. This isn't a show. If you have somebody that's going no contact with you, give them the space to come back in without resisting what they say. If you are going no contact with people, don't beat yourself up for doing it. Everything works the way it's supposed to work. And that's it. I'm going to end with a song for you tonight. It is called Whatever, Whatever by Peter Crosby. I like being able to do this because it pleases the music listener in me. I would love to do a music show. I would love to do a music show instead of doing this show. There's 1,000 music shows out there. This show is needed. There's only one Unmasked. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for listening.
Let it all go. It's not worth it anymore. You can't convince them or change their minds. It's hard to be kind. You're accused out of thin air. Some people, you don't know them, and they won't know you. Friends can easily become a foe. Blood sometimes just won't let you go. When the wind blows and it rains, and you don't know why it pains you so, and it won't stop for a while. Just hang in there, it's worthwhile. Don't let it get to you. I know it's hard. Find something to do to keep yourself occupied. When the world gets mad, what you gonna do? You're not young anymore. It's honestly true.